The Samsung S24 and S24 Ultra have got a stack of brand spanking new AI features. And even though they might look the same as last year with same S Pen and same cameras, they've got some awesome new upgrades that are definitely gonna shock you. So the biggest surprise about the Galaxy S24 and S24 Ultra is that they now come with some sweet new AI features, like when you take a photo, the AI is actually hidden inside the photo editor. So you'll now see this little blue star icon, and when you press it, it activates the AI to scan the photo. And what happens is, let's say you want to quickly adjust the photo and tilt it, you'll see this new generate button that if you click it will magically edit the photo for you. So here you can see the before and after, and I was actually really surprised. This is called generative fill, and it's nothing new to AI, but it's crazy impressive to have it on your phone. Another AI feature brand new to the S24, still within the photo editor, is if you head back to that AI section and tap and hold on any object or subject, you'll notice it actually cut it out of the background, where you can either completely erase it from your image or drag it elsewhere on the pic, then click generate, and bam, just like magic again, the Samsung AI will actually analyze the photo and then try to automatically fill in any blank areas like where you removed the object from. But honestly, it seemed like it kind of struggled a bit, so I'm gonna have to do a lot more testing on this one just to see how good it is and also how far you can push it. I mean, for something that comes built in on your phone, not bad at all, but wait till you see what AI they put in the keyboard. So the S24's keyboards now also come with AI built straight into it. So once you've typed out a message, you'll now notice this new AI icon that if you select it will bring up these three options: chat translation, writing style, and spelling and grammar. Writing style actually analyzes your message and then rewrites it in a few different styles, so you end up getting a couple different options to choose from, and I really like that there's even emojis in some of them. Then chat translation AI is, as the name suggests, it'll translate your message into any other language, and there's quite a couple different options to choose from. And then there's spelling and grammar check that quickly checks your message to see if anything's wrong or if it's a-okay. I've been playing with AI for a while now, and this is a pretty big leap for Samsung in the AI game. So Samsung seems to have made a brand new way to Google anything. Because with this new feature, if you tap and hold the home button, this new AI will scan your screen, and if you draw a circle over anything, like this plant for example, the AI will actually scan or analyze what you circled and then literally search for it on Google and show you the results it found. I can really see this being something that a lot of people are going to end up using. Especially if you see something on Instagram from a friend and want to know what it is, you can just circle it instantly and get results. This definitely reminds me of Google Lens, and if I'm not mistaken is leveraging off of it, but using it this way is just so much better. This will also work anytime on any screen, so long as you hold that home button down. Whether that gets annoying or convenient, I'm not too sure, time will tell, but what is convenient is their new AI summarize feature. Now, it wasn't going to be long until a smartphone had built-in features like ChatGPT, and now it's finally here in the S24. So now, if you open up the Samsung Notes app, you'll notice this new little star icon that once you select it can do quite a few different things for you. You'll notice that you get auto format, summarize, correct spelling, and translate. So it'll scan over your notes or PDF, and auto formatting will actually add headers and bullet points all for you. This is just such a useful feature, especially because you don't need to go to a third-party application now. You can just do it directly on your phone. You could even summarize your notes or PDFs, which takes just a few seconds, and then you can even ask it to replace the current text or add the summary below. The AI translate option also comes in really handy if you have anything you'd like to translate into a different language, or if you have anything you'd like to translate from another language. And again, this is now all done within the Samsung's Note application without needing any other third-party app. Wow. Speaking of translating things, the AI on the S24 Ultra can instantly translate any phone conversation for you in real time. Check this out. Okay, so this is a really interesting feature that you kind of got to dig deep under the hood inside call settings to actually find, and it's called Live Translate. And basically what this feature does is allows you to get real-time translation during a call. As you can see, there's also a bunch of different options and settings that come with this AI. For example, you can choose what language you'd like to hear the conversation in, and also what language you'd like to be spoken into. They currently have only 13 different languages to choose from, but they will be adding more over the year. But until then, there are a few more new features the Ultra comes with. So by now you're probably thinking there's no way the S24 Ultra has even more AI, but it actually does, and it's found within the voice recording app, which now analyzes every person that's talking and transcribes everything they're saying. This works on new voice recordings, but if I'm not mistaken, even old ones. So if you wanted to, you can go into any recording, just select the language you'd like, and the AI will then start scanning over your recording, transcribe everything in a few seconds, and even identify how many people were speaking and what each person was saying. And when you play back the recording, it'll even highlight in blue each word that is being said. On top of that, you can even tap the Summarize tab, where it'll summarize the entire voice note and give you a nice, short, sweet summary of your entire voice recording, which is just so cool. So if you're a voice note taker and like to jot down your thoughts, then you are gonna love this one. But now let's finally take a look at what is new with the cameras. So there's kind of no surprise here with just how similar the cameras on the S24 Ultra are to last year's model. For the most part, we still have the exact same cameras on the outside with that huge 200 megapixel sensor, but what has had a pretty big upgrade is the zoom camera, because we now have a 5x optical zoom lens using the 50 megapixel sensor. Another thing that now also helps with digital zoom is what Samsung calls their AI-powered Pro Visual engine. That's once you've taken a picture that looks kind of grainy and pixelated, processes it into something that looks pretty amazing. I was actually really shocked with how good the results were, and I'll definitely be testing this out more. The S24 Ultra also has one other new feature inside the gallery that works specifically on videos. And basically how it works is when you tap and hold down on any normal video, it actually turns it into a slow-mo video. I believe it does this by filling in extra frames on the video to get that slow-mo effect. But mainly, it just seems to be a fun, quirky feature to try out, and honestly, nothing too mind-blowing just yet. Now, I mentioned earlier that the S24 lineup hasn't had much of a visual upgrade this year, and other than making the screen more flat and giving the edges a more boxier look, it's basically much the same as last year's model, but where it does have a big difference is in what it's actually made of. So now it is a lot more premium than older Ultra phones simply because of one material, and that is titanium. Its titanium frame is way more durable, picks up way less fingerprints, and makes the phone slightly lighter. I personally prefer this flatter screen with a boxier look. It just feels so much better in the hand to hold. As for the different color options, they're definitely more muted this year, which I think a lot of people would actually prefer. So we have titanium black, titanium violet, titanium gray, and titanium yellow. With the gray color I think being my favorite pick, but when you directly compare the S24 Ultra to the S23 Ultra, it's actually quite hard to tell them apart, other than the obvious difference in color, but you do have to look really hard to notice the small differences, like this extra hole on the S24 Ultra, which I believe is a microphone, but other than that, there isn't much of a physical difference. As for the S Pen, it's also basically remained unchanged. Samsung didn't mention any new major features or changes, but that kind of makes sense because it's been around for so many years and people are so used to it that there's no point in changing something that works. It might have a few new features to play around with, so make sure you subscribe to see my tips and tricks video on that when it comes out. Okay, so the screen on the S24 Ultra is not only flatter now, but it's also a lot brighter. It got a massive bump up to 2600 nits, making it now the brightest display on any Samsung phone. It still has an adaptive refresh rate from 1 Hz to 120 Hz. Some people were hoping to see a higher refresh rate in this model, but honestly, this is more than enough for most people. It also got a slightly slimmer bezel that I didn't instantly notice, but hey, any screen size increase is a major plus to me. As for touch response, it's also slightly faster and snappier thanks to its super snappy chip, which, speaking of, let's move on to performance. So with all this new AI, the S24 Ultra needs to have a pretty fast chip. And luckily it comes with the fastest Android chip out there right now, called the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, that's made specifically for the Ultra. Samsung also mentioned that it was 56% faster for gaming than the Gen 2 chip. It now also apparently has better cooling, which means less heat and better battery performance, but I'll definitely have to test that out a bit more myself. And what's also crazy is that the S24 series comes with a mind-blowing 7 years of software and security updates, which is just nuts. So make sure you subscribe to see the best tips and tricks on everything you can do with the S24 Ultra, and let me know down in the comment section which AI feature you're the most excited for. Toodles!